Hey everybody, I thought I would take this time to talk about COVID, right? The virus that's impacting us all. And while the scientific community is working tirelessly at providing us with information and doing everything that they can to protect us, I thought I would take this time to share 3 insights that will help us in navigating a second, third wave, or just helping us to reduce our anxiety overall. So let's jump right into it. Tip number 1, self-control is critical, right? So self-control has always been a part of life success. And if you look at research done with social psychology, people who practice and have the most self-control are healthier, wealthier, and overall much happier, right? It's that old marshmallow experiment. I don't know if you remember learning about that in college, but you might be asking yourself, okay, so self-control is important. I get it. But how can I practice that right now if I'm, stuck at home or not able to work the way that I was? The key here is to continue doing the habits or the things you were doing prior to COVID, right? That might sound crazy and really difficult, but it's true. Try and continue using and doing the healthy habits you had in place before everything started changing, right? Before things started shifting. And if you didn't have many healthy habits in place before the pandemic, this is a great opportunity to start developing some new ones, right? So a great recipe for success is to not only continue with the healthy habits you had in place prior, but also to work on developing new ones, right? It keeps us growing, it keeps us moving. And it very well might be the missing piece for us to keep us feeling energized while everything is kind of going on. Tip number 2 is find a coping strategy or 2 or 3, however many you need, that works for you. So I'm actually going to share with you guys 5 coping strategies that were published in American Psychologist to help us deal with stress and overwhelm. They found that these 5 coping skills worked best in minimizing stress and anxiety. So the first coping skill is active coping. What does active coping mean? It means actively seeking out the support to talk to someone. You could talk to someone like a therapist, people like me, or another mental health practitioner, anybody to kind of help get that stress off of your shoulders. Tip number 2 is, coping skill number 2 is positive reframing. Can you see the silver lining in all of this, right? Can you shift your thoughts from being negative to more positive? Coping skill number 3 is religion, right? So coping with stress and trauma through religion or other spiritual practices can be quite comforting for most people. Tip number 4, or coping skill number 4, I keep wanting to say tip, but coping skill number 4 is acceptance. Can you allow yourself to accept what is going on without fighting against it or using all of your control to change it? And then positive coping skill number 5 is, last but not least, instrumental support. So instrumental support is things like maybe help with childcare, help with buying groceries, with your house, either receiving it and or giving it to someone. And here's the thing. There is no order of those coping skills. You can use however many you want. They're all equally good and they really work, really work. It's like research backed. So this stuff, I'm not just saying, call a friend. No, these are things that have been shown over time to really help people lift their moods and to feel better overall. Another thing to discuss too, the researchers listed the coping skills that are completely and totally ineffective, that'll actually make you feel worse. And those coping skills are denial, substance use, and venting, right? We might think that those three things work, right? They might make us feel good in the interim, but they've actually been shown over time to be really ineffective and to not really work very well. And last but not least, coping skill number 3 is to socially distance yourself from the news, right? Okay, I'm not telling you to bury your head in the sand and be completely out of touch with what's going on in the world. But what I am saying is that too much of the news, of everything that's going on in the world, can have a detrimental effect on our overall psychological well-being. And research conducted out of the University of Economics and Human Sciences in Warsaw, Poland, found that media attention is a bag of mixed tricks, right? There's some good and there's some bad to it. The good is that it can lead to rapid communication around a given topic, right? We can say things like, wearing masks and washing your hand, getting information out to the people. And the not so great side of all of this media attention is that it can lead to mass hysteria and fear. So, in conclusion, until we get a vaccine, the best offense is a good defense. And if we try adopting a few of these good defensive techniques and strategies, we might feel a whole lot better in the end for it. If you've tried any of these techniques, I'd love to know. Drop me a comment below. Let me know what's worked for you, what hasn't worked for you, what you haven't tried yet. And I want to thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.